Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another fresh Propagandacast campaign, this time with Rome 2, playing as the Seleucid Empire here in the east, the sort of pre-Byzantine to proto-Byzantine, and since Greek mixed up with some eastern sort of ideas there. Also got a lot of sort of satrapies under it here in the east, with potential for more problems down the road, since a lot of them look like they're very keen on turning against me whenever possible. I think I'll do some quick upgrades there to quickly unlock some of my technology. We'll see if we can't get some trade going here.
Greetings, friend. Let us use our time.
Sure. Long-term trade is better. Cappadocia.
Come, my friend. Speak. We are men of words, and so serve our peoples with honor.
They didn't put
You
particular
have
man.
an honest face. We
Yeah.
can.
Egypt, probably not looking too happy there. Sardis.
Welcome. I throw open the.
So there you go.
Your
Got a bit of
proposal
trade going
has
with some of the
merit for my
satrapies.
people, and I am sure
And other bits.
the
Got to
gods favor agreeable
deal with
men.
these chaps here, the Squidly, which are lining right up against Egypt. Have to move down an army of that, and plus there's the Egyptians down there. We got some mercenary Indian war elephants here. Just got a bit of going there. So this should be pretty interesting to have there. I think we'll be dispatching the army to deal with the Quidri there. Send down our spy as well. The army here will remain around Edessa, basically to keep that in check until we're sort of getting built up a bit. Concentrate its ground there to help us deal with that. Consecrate it, not concentrate it. It's just silly. And set up some economy here, since we'd rather get benefits from agriculture. I shall work on setting up more agriculture that way. This is the factional bonus. Basically more 20% more wealth, so that's pretty handy. There's a bit going on there. Tasks we also need to do something about. Public forum. I think that'll sort of be it here in the early bits. We can also consider adding in some further troops to reinforce this army once we got a bit more going here. Once we sort of head around to Dura, borders there to Adumatu. We'll probably throw in some extra troops to further bolster this force. Some, probably not pikemen. We'll probably look to more spearmen, maybe some hillmen, some slingers as well. Alright, we can issue an edict here. Let's go with that one, I think. I can also do it there, I guess. That's neat. Oh, this might be because it's
The
sort of
sands will cover your cities. Your names will be forgotten. So speaks Pharaoh, noblest of all.
Alright. Drangania, Media and Sardis has done it. Area, Sagatia and Patava have refused to join in with me. Also Persia's joined in. So they got them. They're also against someone else. So I'll be at war with the Egyptians in the early game, it seems. The other chaps will have to wait a bit, so I'll have to move down my armies there unless there's... I don't think any of my immediate neighbours have turned against me. There's any of my immediate satrapies. It's the ones sort of far to the east that way have turned against me, so I'll probably be bogging down some of my satrapies there. Obviously gotta defend them. Also lose them. Let's got Cyprus. Well, we'll have to see if this actually didn't turn more against me. Alright, so... doesn't look like any meetings again is over here far in the east, where they'll be going to war with the other satrapies there, so that could probably mean issues in the longer term there. So that basically cost that. And then why do I have it there? Slightly counter there. I'd rather want it here, to be honest. And they got hit by some spies. That's lovely. Move down there instead. Got to deal with the Egyptians first. I'll quickly do some reconnaissance from my spy to see if those chaps are in any immediate. Nope. Then we move westwards towards Jerusalem. And you'll begin hiring troops here. First up, some slingers. Nice and cheap. And just add small range firepower, which is always handy. Cheap. Axemen, I think, are pretty handy. They do have the armor penetrating ability, which will be quite handy versus some of their other troops. Actually, I might just pop that one down. There we go. And I'll add in some cavalry and other bits there. Here I can hire a few spearmen, but now I'll probably move down here as well, sort of form it up a bit there. No need to expand too fast either. That can just end up poorly. Yeah, oh, actually we gotta head towards there. Gotta deal with the Cyprians, though it looks like Sardis will be able to deal with that pretty swiftly, so that's perhaps not quite so much of a pressing issue. Not quite so much of a pressing issue. It looks like my generals are skirmisher types. Interesting. Interesting. Here we will set up, I think, for something a bit more agricultural, perhaps. There you go. And again, perhaps not this one specifically. I mean, there's a lot of industrial, so I might benefit more from Hephaestus here. We're building up the army if necessary. I'll throw in some mercenaries. Got Syrian archers, Persian archers. Pretty good as well, though not good as good in the end, though they are cheaper. So that's something there to consider. That is something to consider. But basically we got a war here with Egypt in the early game.
Ready for battle.
That should be fun. A nice big war with one of the successor kingdoms of Alexander the Great, where they basically split into four. You had, well, basically the Seleucids, the Macedonians, and the sort of Egyptians there. Well, specifically, I can't quite remember them now. They're primarily, though they also created Bactria over here, which I guess sort of more of an offshoot of the Seleucid empires that sort of crumbled there. Pontus. They just seem to be raiding through there. I guess I'll try and expand through there, since that would benefit me overall. Front some spearmen. Nice and cheap. A nice way of sort of fleshing out an army. Alright, popping in through here. Jerusalem seems frightfully unguarded, actually.
Ready for battle.
Army here is looking pretty decent. I got plenty of pikemen, so I won't add any more of that. I do like pikemen, though. I do think they're pretty solid. They're one of the reasons why I like Rome too, and, well, Attila. Pikemen are fun, though of course not the primary force, but still they're sort of a nice addition thing to have. They sort of end up being a bit funny there. I think I'll sneak in some additional light cavalry here to form a bit of a stronger flank force. Sadly, as the Seleucid Empire don't so quickly get access to, well, hoplites. But on the other hand, again, I get access to chaps with really big axes, which do have their advantages as well. Research rate is actually pretty good, so we'll go for that. That could prove to be quite a handy advantage here. Longer term, plus of course the benefits from selling all the glass also help. So far, don't know sign of the Egyptian armies. They're the Ptolemaics. There, damn Ptolemaics, with their hard to remember names. Alright. Looks like the entire, what's it called, that region, Little Asian. Wow, everybody's having at it. Good thing I'm moving in an army there, though. Well, so far none of my remaining satrapies are broken off. Have they? Yeah, they've organised themselves down Petra. Those building up an army there of royal pelters as well. The champions of Olympus shall make the move on Jerusalem. The Cyprians have mounted inside there for defence. Move up there, sneak in some more spearmen and other chaps. There's some fodder. Economically doing alright there again. I do have some advantage there as long as I remember to expand upon the economic advantage I do have. Try and sort of strengthen the economy as well if possible. I remember to post an army soon here in Edessa to help keep that under control as we march on several other sides. That should become an immediate problem. We'll blockade that one. Further hurt the Cyprus economy. And punish them for siding with Egypt. Right, they're sneaking about. It looks like they're abandoning their Jerusalem holdings. Well, they're just heading onwards, hurting my satrapy there. Looking pretty bad for them. They will have to drag up pretty soon. It's not good. With that out, we will. I can sort of try and aim towards better cavalry, which I probably should, but. I think some champions here in the early game could help me out. We'll hit C Day. I don't think there's much into a battle here. I mean, there's a few garrisons, but that's not really going to help much. So I'll just sort of rush in there. And seize the city. And also thusly expanding the economy. So great pitch there though, and here we will set up a satrap's residence. Right, what are we trying to be here though? Are we trying to be Hellenic or are we trying to be Eastern? Well, we're Hellenistic culture, so going for the satrap bit there is... I mean, it requires some balancing, though. It does offer benefits, the building there, but it's not something I'd immediately go for. Set up the amphitheaton, whatever. This army will seize Jerusalem. Egyptian infantry, mobs, and Egyptian slingers, plus some pikemen. Nothing really compared to what I got here, so we'll just sort of run them over. So far, the Egyptians, having gone to war with me, have yet to really put up much resistance. Obviously, gotta be careful about this. Ooh, olives. So it looks like, again, they're abandoning basically Nabatea rapidly. We'll try and build up an army here. Wow, we can actually set them up in a lot of types of bodyguard units. That's actually pretty interesting. All at the same cost, even chariot units. Roman style, interesting. But I think some cataphracts sounds pretty fun.
We need good fighters.
Hire some spearmen to upkeep order in the province.
Commander.
Strategist and
We hunger for battle.
strategist. There we go. Decent progress being made all around. So far, all glory to the Seleucid Empire and the true successors to Alexander the Great. Meanwhile, my eastern satraps are getting
We hunger for
knackered there.
settlement. We take this settlement.
Well, that's pretty easy as well. Not really much of an effort.
At your command. We hunger for battle.
That's a pretty handy one. We'll shift spies towards the west here to try and get an idea of the state of the Egyptian army, if they're preparing for any assault, so I can make further decisions based on that. Edessa still needs more
Commander.
troops here raised.
Soldiering.
More
It's a
eastern
good-
spearmen here. Slow progress. I can upgrade here to a polis.
Ready for battle.
I'm slightly tempted to try and go after and take Iconium. Also got to deal with the stuff up there. Plus we got to deal with the stuff here as well. Here we can sort of get more stuff. We can sort of aim for more ranged units. We can try and get some better infantry first, like hoplites, regular pikemen. Plus we get access to some cavalry as well. Whereas this one just gets us archers, though archers are pretty damn good as well, but I don't think it's immediately needed. Slingers will tend to do most of the trick here. It does depend a bit what we're fighting against. I think I'd rather get some spearmen first. So let's set up here for the Holosideros barracks.
Commander.
Let's poke up here, see how Iconium looks. Is there any need to bring up more troops here? The garrison fell reasonably quickly.
We hunger for battle.
I'll probably hire an additional cavalry unit just for the battle. Ranged unit wise, I'm going to be attacking a city. I don't need so many of those. I got the slingers. They should hopefully be plenty. So let's have a look at that. Just the low should we actually get a battle here. I think we'll do the battle here in this case though. Partly because I'm curious to see how these Egyptians, and also I'm curious to see how my Ashman perform. But if this is sort of the state overall of the Egyptians and their allied armies, I'm not too worried since they do lack hoplites. Hoplites tend to be a bit nastier chaps. If done, it's going to give me quite a headache against the Romans and fighting against the Carthaginians. Plus I'm curious to see my own units. A lot of eastern troops there with Slightly funnier hats. Hillmen here with their axes, which again means any infantry is going to circle here. We got heavy pikemen.
We await your command.
They look actually surprisingly Greek and well armoured. Sort of. We got the Royal Pelters here, which is essentially a ranged unit. Got our spearmen here. We got a cavalry here. Huh, guess we're finding out in the open, on-site the city. That's a bit of a surprise, really. I guess the AI decided to fight me out in the open or something. And there we go, we got our mercenary Persian cavalry. Those actually look pretty effective.
We await your orders.
Quite good then. Form up into a unit there. Hillmen will form up one group. Spears shall form a sort of the unit sort of drags them in.
Slingers. General. Royal Peltasts.
They'll just form into a group. Might as well have the general sort of fire in, and then we'll
Spears at your command.
guess you'll have the pikemen join in as well.
Your command. My lord.
Right then. Rather hilly terrain though.
Ready.
Cavalry move up in the eastern hills. Need to first locate the bastards before I can do anything about them. Yeah, they're not the toughest, but neither are theirs, I guess. It's not too big of a deal. Like some of the other successors, like the Macedonians, don't quite get access to a lot of hoplites right away. On the other hand, again, they get access to troops they can cut for armor. That's always a pretty handy one. That's a bit of one of the rarer ones, to be honest. There you go. Egyptian troops spotted. Got the slingers. Funny hats. Sort of located a bit of their push there.
Ready to march. At the double.
They're trying to sit up on the hill.
The horse at your command.
Not a bad idea, really. It's going to be difficult for me to attack up on. There's the mobs. But, no sign of the infantry. You know, the actual infantry. The ones I'm actually worried about. Just a little slingers. There we go, got Egyptian slingers. Some slightly worn stuff to cover their heads. Oh, there we go, got the infantry. They look a bit more intimidating there, I guess. Also got some pikemen there. That's the general plus some levies, so as opposed to more Greek stuff they got at the moment.
Orders, my lord.
Cavalry will hit that.
Melee infantry at the ready. At the ready. Awaiting orders.
Try and flank in. We don't want to run straight to the pikemen.
What are your orders?
Advance at speed.
Well, our range is a bit closer. The front bit of heavy fighting there. Oh, the spearmen got pretty brutalised there by this stuff. Suppose shouldn't be too surprised at that.
Armored horsemen. At the ready. Stick and collies. Hillmen. Our orders. On the quick march.
Hopefully the hillmen should have a better chance there.
Our spears are yours.
Their mobs, those should disintegrate. So should their troops, the ones get flanked.
Advance at speed. For glory.
Our orders. Engage.
The battle is turning in our favour.
Go.
We are at your command.
Cavalry gutting their slingers. And the rest of the forces over here. The Egyptian infantry is fighting heroically, but slowly being overwhelmed here by hordes of hillmen and who knows what else. And over here they're being surrounded as well. Slingers fighting against the pikemen. That is not working out very well for them, since they can't even get very close. Over here, there we go. Egyptian infantry is collapsing.
Ready to ride. Orders.
Some other units are struggling though, but that's either theirs, not mine. So yeah, dispatching the Cypriot troops, which is going to happen right away. Most of my army is called Asia Minor. Still got Iconium, so that's a start.
Commander. Ready for orders.
Go. Do something about Cedar though. So we got Anissa. But yeah, Sardis has quickly found itself on the defensive, and Rhodes being a bit of a bastard too. So there's a lot going on there. But I gotta deal with the Egyptians as well there, otherwise I'd just love to pull this army back up. Also my elephants, they've taken quite a beating. They'll take a bit while to get ready again. Palmyra is slowly progressing into the right direction. That's good. Then you can get the hoplites and the pikemen, at which point I should have a pretty decent stuff going on there. Edicts. Guess we can pop here again. Not really a lot I can do. There'll be Breton games because, well, there's not much else to do there. So there we go. Progress.
It is a simple gift, gold, but one that many appreciate, as we are sure you will.
I bring word that my lord looks to end the war. He will not look to end it another day.
Can bleed them a bit out for it, that's good. Sure, why not? Just give a bit of breathing space then. Ensure my satrapies don't get cut down as swiftly. Which I think is one of my primary sort of ideas there.
Ready for battle.
Move towards Jerusalem again.
Garrison.
Not a lot of growth here. Gives us up there since that does give us more money as well. Spy shall continue, shall set towards Alexandria since that's more likely to where the forces have been heading, and there you go. Pop goes the wee Egyptian pikemen, plus Egyptian infantry and slingers, plus some royal thorax swordsmen. Memphis, nothing there.
Can I be of more assistance?
Ready for orders.
Building a fresh army here. Could try and
Commander.
march on Ankira here, but the question is my force in any condition to do so? If I'm going to do it, I have to do it soon, that's for sure.
At your
Can
command.
poke up there, see what the state of Ansir's defenses are.
On the move.
I could
Ready for
probably
battle.
seize it actually.
Let them cower like kennel dogs.
There we go. Grabbing that one. Or I could simply race it, then take the money and run for it, since I can't hold it anyways.
We hunger for battle. Ready for orders.
I thought they'd just, you know, take it. Well, not take it, but just grab the money and run. I guess I should have chosen loot instead. Oh well, I didn't quite look quickly there enough. But again, I'm not intending to hold this right away. Just cause a bit of problems.
At your command.
I might cause more problems for myself though. That's just a minor thing. Just a minor thing, really.
Ready for battle. We need good fighters.
So that should hurt them a bit. They're the Galatians. Pressure them a bit on the defensive. And curb their aggressions. Just seems to be the general they're sneaking about. Shouldn't be too much of a problem for now. Alright then. I think we'll end the turn here. See what happens. Galatians just run for it, though they appear down south, so that's going to rush on the army again. I didn't expect to exactly hold and Kira. That'll be a navy plus the garrison. I like to make salamis easier to take in the longer run.
We still
In
have
particular,
a good wind.
if I actually get some mercenaries to maybe assist. Oh, there they come. Gotta abandon the Jerusalem front to deal with that.
We hunger for battle.
Unfortunate, there you go.
At your command. March.
Thing down there.
Commander. At once.
Gotta abandon Edessa for now.
Journey completed.
Get some other chaps support.
Come fight with us.
But I probably won't be in time to deal with these chaps. We've got a lot of levy spearmen, some slingers, and some mercenary camel archers. So it's mostly a peasant army really striking out, but they're striking at Dura, which isn't quite so well defended. I mean, had they gone for Palmyra, I might have a chance to simply due to the sheer number of better troops there, including numerous pikemen, that the slingers could probably make short work of them. But we can just sort of stall them until the champions of Olympus can sort of hit them. That should do all right. Yeah, the problem's going to again be Jerusalem and Petra for the time being. But so far, the
Moving unseen.
Ptolemaics are not looking to be on the offensive here. So that should work out for the most part.
Blockading.
So we got the main unit there.
None shall pass.
Can I any mercenaries there? I could. I'm not sure that it will make much progress, to be honest. The Sons of Smertrios.
We hunger
Mostly
for
spearmen. The
battle.
army here once a bit recuperated should be able to deal with that easily. And the problem's going to be that one simply due to the fact that my area is not so well defended at the moment. It's a pretty handy one once we get that further upgraded. But for now that will have to wait a bit. Seed is in no condition to defend itself. So we just have to let that one slip past. A lot of spearmen, a few hillmen, and a bunch of slingers. Should be dealable. Just force them to attack me out in the open. At which point I'll cut them down. Right, now if we can just further strengthen the economy, which will struggle a bit again due to these chaps. Again, massive army. And again, largely a peasant army with a few mercenaries sort of spattered in there. And this army just... it's not going to stand a chance. Point it. Wasting time on that. Best I can do is try to stall them. With larger armies. Oh, we got slums there, but I don't really care about that, to be honest. Again, and Kurikan 4, that was rather the intent there. But not, right now, though, I'm suffering a bit of a problem. They took Durda, which is causing a bit of food shortage. So that's not good.
We take this settlement.
Is not
We
good.
hunger for battle. March.
Right then, we can get, there we go, the Persian hoplites. Some citizen cavalry, camel spearmen. I'm guessing the Persian hoplites aren't quite as good as the Greek ones, but
Sign up, lads, for a good and glorious life.
a few never hurt, I imagine.
We hunger for battle. None
Strike down
will
at
escape.
Cedar
Let them cower like kennel
and
dogs.
encircle them. And then I think we'll be stopping here for today. So thank you all for joining, and hope you enjoyed this first episode here with the Seleucid Empire, the Seleucid Empire. Not entirely sure how that one's supposed to be pronounced. It can go both ways, I suppose. If you enjoyed, oh dear, there we go. Next moved up an army, including some Nubian spearmen as well.
No further orders.
So that's going to be a problem here. Overall, a lot there to deal with. But again, if you enjoyed, subscribe, like, share, and comment on it. There'll be more in, I hope, in 2 days' time as we continue here with our Seleucid Empire fighting as we deal with them and then rush back down there. Certainly a lot to do here. So that should be, I think, quite fun. So thank you all, and see you all in another 2 days' time. This is Imperial Dane signing off. Cheers.